of the movie you're about to watch and listen to. Oh boy, it's about better management, better contract management in the oil sector. That's what I'll be talking about. So you will hear how your country oil business is being managed. Josh?
Yes, sir.
Do not be a person who does not have hope. No matter what has happened in your life, Josh, the future is better than what happened in the past. You hear that? The future is better than what happened in the past. The future is better than the present as well. Our Creator says it will always be better when you give up. That's when your doors are closed. For as long as you have not given up, Joshua, your doors will never close.
I love that.
Thank you. So no matter what you're going through in life, uncle and auntie, never give up as a believer. Never. A wise man said those words, not Glenn. Sometimes you got to fight for what you got left rather than to just grieve over what is gone. You've got to fight for what you got left, because if the enemy gets you grieving over what's gone, he will steal whatever is left. You hear that, uncle and auntie? Don't grieve of what has gone. If not, the enemy will go with whatever is left, Joshua. I can't tell you how many people, Joshua, have seen hell-bent, in trying to get back what they have lost. And in doing so, lost every little they had left for them, Joshua.
Yeah.
You know who said that?
No.
A man named T.D. Drakes. He sounded a warning. It was his advice. You hear that? He said he has seen many people hell-bent trying to get back what they have lost. And in doing so, lost even the little they had left for them. Man, I love that piece of advice. Don't run after they have an old saying, don't go after the spilled milk.
Don't cry over spilled milk.
Don't cry over spilled milk. That's it. Yes. That man was talking to the Guyanese politicians there, Joshua. Jagde was spending hundreds of thousands of US dollars to do sham audits on spendings in the oil companies prior to 2020, when we can't get back anything. And he's not focused on the audits of Payara and Yellowtail. 20 billion in which we can pull back billions for the starving nation. Uncle Joshua, if we go after that 2 project cost and do it properly by finding export auditors and give them the rightful time to do that job, brother, trust me, Guyana will be such a beautiful place. But we are doing and running after, we call it spilled milk.
Spilled milk.
Did I say Namaste and Merry Christmas? No, I didn't. Merry Christmas, guys. Guyana is in total silence and complete darkness. Tonight, I am going to do something a little different for you people. You know, there are so many stories that I want to put before you and discuss. But like I always said, I just cannot. The time is too short, too limited, even if I do a program all day, all night. So what I'm doing tonight, I am going back a couple of weeks and take a story from the newspaper and share a few words on it with you people. But I want to emphasize one thing. One thing and one thing, Uncle. We have this $1 trillion oil sector where we have important development after development happening daily. But where are the voices of the people that you all stay on your finger for? I am not attacking anybody. I am looking for what is best for this country. We all want that, and we should all be on the same page. And for us to get the most, Uncle, not true, Joshua?
Yes.
You don't want the most?
Of course.
That is our rightful share of every piece of our rich minerals and every drop of our oil, brother. Our leaders have to be straight with us. Give us all the information and help us to help them to manage the oil sector better. Not true, man? Uncle and auntie, they have not done so. They have not done, matter of fact, they have done the opposite. They have concealed and buried very, very important information relating to our transported wealth. And this is not just only dangerous, but destructive in the long run. We need leadership in this country that will take us to the moon or to the sun where there is light, not leadership that will keep us in the dark. We need facts, Uncle, not secrecy. What we need them to talk about, they are silent. And you're going to see this over and over in the many stories I am discussing with you here tonight. I have a lot of them. Despite the PPP manifesto says, Uncle, big and bold, we will seek better contract management / renegotiation of the oil deal. We are still seeing nothing, and we are being left in the dark. I am here to give you some facts. So here we go. The first story I want to start with is the World Bank report, which says almost 50% of Guyanese living on 1,000 Guyana dollar a day. Let me repeat that. Almost 50% of the Guyanese living on $1,000 a day. That's the kind of poverty half of the population in Guyana living under. Where is the better contract management / renegotiation to stop that, Uncle? To correct that, Auntie? To fix that so that these families can live and live a good life. There was no response from the government on that story we carried. Next story. ExxonMobil ruthlessly taking advantage of this slack government who is allowing EPA to break the laws of Guyana by allowing Exxon to flare excessive gas, which they are not supposed to do by law. Again, not a word or response from Bharat Jagdeo, the Vice President. This is how they promise, Joshua, say with me, better contract management / renegotiation of the oil sector in their manifesto. And at the same time, save this country. You hear that? By staying silent, not a word. Our Auditor General, the man who is responsible for monitoring and checking all government projects and spendings, says GRA is struggling to find experts to beef up their ability to monitor oil costs. You hear that, Uncle? GRA struggling to find experts to help them monitor oil spendings. Again, not a word or response from Bharat Jagdeo. This is how they promise better contract management / renegotiation of the oil sector in their manifesto, Uncle. To take half of Guyana's family. Fifth oil project. Oh, let me repeat this thing, man. The oil sector manifesto. To take half of Guyana's family's fifth oil project. Uncle, it will cost $10 billion, the fifth. Jagdeo will approve it in weeks to come. Would he change the terms and conditions to benefit that half of the population? I made a mistake. Sorry about that. I was talking about half of Guyana's families is living with $1,000. And Jagdeo going to approve the fifth project with $10 billion American dollars. I'm asking, would he improve the take on that project to help better the conditions of half of the population? That's what I wanted to say just now. Would he install ring fencing provision, full liability coverage for the Guyanese people? Would he increase the royalty rates? Would he get ExxonMobil to pay the lawful taxes this country has on its books? Would he remove the 2-year time limit Exxon placed in the contract to check and audit the inflated bills? Let's wait and see if the better contract management / renegotiation will kick in, Uncle, that they promised in their manifesto. All future projects must adhere to the new contract terms Jagdeo set out on them little oil blocks he put up for sale. Jagdeo dumb and deaf on the ExxonMobil block. Let's move to another story, Uncle. Climate disaster could wipe out 100% of Guyana's coastal agriculture. You hear me, Joshua?
Yes.
Let me repeat it, man. Climate disaster could wipe out 100% of Guyana's coastal agriculture. The World Bank said that. They warned that the country's contribution to climate change will increase with every new oil project. Let me ask this, will anything change? Let's move, Joshua. Let's get going. You said I got 2 more minutes? Thank you. Sunday, November 6th. This is a story we carried. Guyanese still in the dark as another foreign company boasts about gold fever in Guyana. Who boasting for you in Guyana? Those contracts still being kept secret from all of us. Although Kaieteur promises 4 times to have them in the public domain. I didn't want to talk about today's press conference, but I have to. Uncle and Auntie, he was asked about that question, that again today. And he directed me to the minister this time. This is the 5th time he's asked about these contracts. ExxonMobil country manager Alistair Routledge says overseas investors must be welcomed with confidence of making money, and this can only be done if you have the right government in place. You hear that, Joshua? Foreign investors must be welcomed with confidence of making money only if they got the right government in place. He's boasting about the present situation with the PPP government in place, Uncle. Not a word, not a response you hear from your government. The people who promise better contract management / renegotiation. Next story. Exxon in talks with a Dutch company to build a 5th oil ship. They're working out details and costs behind Guyana back. Where is Kaieteur and his better contract management, Joshua? Where is he in a 50-50 partnership on that? Not a word, not a response. That same shipbuilder, Exxon talking to Joshua, is before the courts for bribery and corruption. You hear me? The same shipbuilder, some of the workers in courts for bribery and corruption. Exxon in talks with them, and Kaieteur is outside the door. That is what you call better contract / contract management / renegotiation. They talk about in the PPP manifesto. Let me give you more headlines. Canada kicks out 3 Chinese companies from their mining fields. Our government must have already grabbed onto them, Joshua. Come here, come quick. Guyana got gold fever, and it's for free. Wow. Guyana waives $100 million in taxes to oil companies in 2021. You hear me, Joshua?
Wow.
Not 1, 2, or 3. $100 million US in taxes in 2021. While Guyana gets $633 million. You hear me? And this will continue in 2022. Yes, I will have to report that next year. What they give away in tax as to what Guyana get. You will see that come 2022, early 2022, when the oil company financials are out. That is what you call better contract management. In our PPP manifesto. And this is how half of the Guyanese livelihood will change for the better. Give away everything and collect nothing. Here is one, Joshua. Kaieteur news carried on November 12th. President Ali wants the local private sector to pay its fair share of taxes, but refuses to impose taxes on oil companies. Oh my. Imposing, want the local people pay their fair share of taxes, but refuse to impose taxes on the oil companies. That is what you call better contract management / renegotiation of the oil sector, Joshua. Oh boy, they want the Guyanese taxpayers to pay their fair share taxes, but the oil company and all the foreign companies working in the back damn thieving out of your gold and your diamond and your bauxite and your timber to walk scotch-free. All the oil companies to walk away. All three of them walk away with 1,000 million. 1/3 of Guyana 2021 budget. And one couple penny from the local private sector for help them increase their salary and clean one drain. You gotta love these people, Joshua. Huh?
Yep.
I love them. I love them. Every day that goes by, I love them a little more. I guess you too, Joshua. You know, I'd love them more. Sunday, November 13. Story. IMF urges to plug loopholes to prevent oil companies from using unrelated project costs to slaughter Guyana's profits. You hear that, buddy? IMF tell Guyana to plug the loophole to avoid the oil company them throwing in money from other projects for slaughter we profits. And what you government doing? What they're saying? What they respond to? Nothing. And this is what they call better contract management. IMF telling y'all to do the right thing. Plug up every hole so that the oil company them cannot use the word after E uncle to do to Guyana. You hear that? Joshua? The IMF say use the word that the oil companies them cannot use the word after E to do to Guyana. This is the same IMF indebting us with loans, telling us to plug up all them holes in which we are getting robbed so we can be able to pay them the interest rates to fatten their families. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Them people are looking out for we. But when you think they look out for we, they look out for themselves because the loans Guyana got to pay. You never get a response from Jagdeo or anybody in this country on these people warning, on their warnings. Never. And that is what you call what? Better contract management of the oil sector. The next day, November 14th, Barbados Prime Minister, a woman I admire for her leadership, told the world at the UN conference, yes, oil companies must pay or must be taxed. You hear that? And must be taxed 10%. At that same forum, the UN General Secretary backed this lady call and said all oil companies must be taxed on the super profit they're making. You hear anything in this country? Many countries push it as high as 35%. Joshua,
Yes, sir.
Guyana, they're 10-0 below the zero we learn in school. You hear me?
Yes.
Guyana, they're 10-0 below the zero we learn in school, where payment of our legal taxes is concerned. Not this additional tax the Prime Minister want the oil companies around the world to pay, man. Guyana legal taxes I'm talking about. We the 10-0, below zero. And not a word you hear from the King of Guyana, Barra Jagdeo, about better contract management. Not a single word. Today that question was asked at his press conference. And like I said again, I don't want to talk about it tonight. Monday I'll tell you what he said. November 15th, headline. Laws should be in place to penalize officials for not conducting oil audits. You hear the one, Joshua? Laws should be in place to penalize officials for not conducting oil audits. Christmas coming, and the PPP love to sneak in laws. When you eat your rum, yes, your rum cake, and drink your wine that get you all intoxicated. Oh boy, then they hustle to run in and sneak in laws. Yes, that benefit them and not this country. You remember the past one last year, right?
Yes.
To jail the minister if he doesn't report exactly how much oil money Guyana get. But he doesn't have to tell us where and what the oil money is spent on or used for. I like that one. The man can go to jail for not telling you, well, here, Exxon give Guyana $1 million this month. But what he do with the money, how he spend the money, that's not in the law. He can do whatever they want to do with it. Nothing to safeguard Guyana where your money goes. That's not in the law, uncle. So let's wait and see if they're going to sneak in a law to jail the officials for not conducting audits on the oil company's production and spendings. You think we get one like that? Well, this is what you call better contract management / renegotiation. What the World Bank did say, half of Guyana population living with $1,000 a day. And we are the fastest growing economy on earth. You gotta love them, eh?
Of course.
You gotta love these leaders. November 16 headline. Man missing after plunging into the Demerara River, trying to escape from the cops. This is one Guyanese who wasn't getting $1,000 a day. Police chasing him. So he just jumped overboard and killed himself. Somebody called the police and said he thieved something from them, and when the police turn up, he run away and jump overboard from them. They find his body float up the next day, and when they do the postmortem, Joshua, there was nothing inside his stomach. The man was hungry. All right, don't knock me, Joshua. That part of the story is just a joke, to lighten up your spirit, to give you a laugh, uncle. The story is correct, but when I do the autopsy and didn't find nothing inside his stomach, was joke. They find water inside. It's Christmas, man. And I didn't say Merry Christmas. Not to you, uncle. Not to you, auntie. But to ExxonMobil boss man, Darren Woods. Yes. Alastair Routledge, the Guyana boss man of Exxon. We, President Ali, Vice President Jagdeo, and all their families. Yes, Merry Christmas. For making Guyana becoming the next Dubai of the world. Uncle, your Christmas greetings will come next week. I'm having a special greetings for all of you. The same day was November 16, 3 weeks ago, coalition government did no assessment of oil spill risk before preparing national oil spill plan. You hear that, bro? Coalition government did no assessment of oil spill risk before preparing the national oil spill plan. The Auditor General found that out when he was doing his checks on what is in place to secure Guyana and its citizens. Can you believe that a country preparing a national oil spill plan for its people and you are not doing any assessment of the risk? The dangers involved, man? Nah, man, I don't think so. I don't think so. And that plan still exists as I speak today under the PPP. Nothing they have done to change that or to correct it. And they have said not a word until now on it. That is what you call better management of the oil sector. Better contract management of the oil sector. What do you say, Josh? 4 kilometers of Venezuela coastline. Use the word after the E and put up after it. Up. With a little oil spill in Venezuela. Yes. 4 kilometers. 4 kilometers. Use the word after the E. Up. In Venezuela. A little oil spill. Imagine when one happens out there. Some of you might be looking like black canny crow with that crude oil that hit the shore. You call that better contract management, uncle? Yeah. We don't have a proper oil spill plan in this land. And we are the fastest growing country on earth with more oil per person in any country in this world. Let's go to another story, uncle. November 17th. Guyana 2% royalty flagged by International Energy Site as being the lowest in the whole Latin America. Better contract management. The PPP promise I owe. While half the population living with $1,000 a day. That is how we will raise the life of what people living in this country with the 2%. What the people say is the lowest in the hemisphere. 18th November, next day, England, twice in 6 months, raised windfall taxes from 25 to 35%. I tell you the next day, India follow suit. Within 4 months, India raised their windfall tax twice on the excessive profits oil companies making. Germany, France, blah, 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 Canada, Bulgaria yesterday. Yes. Everybody raising windfall tax. Is where Guyana they in all this. The worst contract on earth where the total take of our oil, man, the total take of our oil is 2% royalty. No taxes. And the PPP has no voice. Not a word you're hearing from anybody. Like I said, I don't want to talk about the press conference today. But Bharat Jagdev answered that question about windfall tax today. I'll leave you in suspense for Monday night. Not a single word we have reported on any one of those headlines or stories I've just talked about, dear uncle. This is what they promise the Guyanese people to get your votes. And today, the better contract management is beginning to look, sound, or taste like bitter contract management instead of better contract management. Guyana is the crown jewel for US company sticking with the oil companies out there. Yes. That's another headline. And our crown jewel is sour ginger beer for the Guyanese people Christmas. Thanks to Bharat Jagdev and President Ali for a bitter contract management / renegotiation of this oil deal. The same day, Kaieteur News. Guyana does not have the equipment needed to respond to a large oil spill. So said our Auditor General. We Guyanese Auditor General. You guys hear that? Exxon doesn't have in Guyana what is needed to handle a large oil spill. And this is called better contract management. Guyana could face expulsion from international transparency, from the international transparency body, as large-scale mining contracts agreements remain in the dark. You hear that?
Yes.
That's what the EITI said. We could face expulsion from the transparency body because the contracts and agreements in the mining sector and in the oil sector is remain in the dark. When you raise things like this with Jagdeo or with the ministers about releasing these agreements and making these contracts public, it's like you interfere with something most precious to them. Y'all must look at their faces. Oh man, oh. It's Friday. It's Friday, Josh. Should I stop now?
Give us a little bit more.
All right. All governments in various countries are required to release and come clean with what's going on with their people's wealth. Imagine these people have to join with the Guyanese people to see what deal they sign with these foreign companies. Huh? These foreign people joining with us, begging the government for them to see what deal Guyana, the Guyanese people is getting. And they are being given the stone wall. This is what you call better contract management in the PPP manifesto. Is this better or bitter contract management, man?
Bitter.
My tongue is feeling a little sourish. I don't know if it's the bitterness that is in these contracts? Or what? I'm just feeling a little better. Maybe I should sip some tea.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Mr. Mortley, make me a cup of tea. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mortley. Wow. Thank you. Aye. You're changing the taste in my mouth now, Josh. And it's Friday. I'm going to change it a little later with a glass of wine.
All right.
Listen to the next headline. British wins contract to market Guyana's oil. And your leader is telling us that we are not paying them to sell the oil. They are selling it for free. A man selling truckload upon truckload of you mango, and he doing it for free. Joshua? That is what your parents telling the children. And on top of that, he hiring the contract. He hiding the contract from the children. This is what you call better contract management of your oil sector. Oh boy, they're hiding the contract. Yes. That is what you get for visa-free travel to England, uncle. Give the people them to sell your oil and they say, I make no money on it. Oh boy. Oh. England must be given a contract to sell Guyana oil to make millions, and Jack Dave telling us they're doing it for free. Man, let me give them another headline and come out this radio tonight. Oh boy. That's a visa free to go England you get it, bro. President Ali signed a trade pact with England, selling we oil, yes, we oil, saying we oil was part of that. Trade in energy sector, and that is what you call better contract management. You hear me? For the starving people of this country. Now signing trade pact between Guyana and England. A British company, get the contract to sell we oil. They're not making any money. You hear that? Soon you go hear they get we oil black. And they go say, man, we not making no money. November 30, uncle, after giving Exxon an unusually sweet oil deal, Guyana now banking on ravelings to breed. This was highlighted by Bloomberg. The richest country on earth per person has to carve out a good life with ravelings, and your government is silent, going to approve the 5th project to give them a sweeter deal, Joshua, while leaving your mouth dry. Let me sip my tea, bro. Yes, thank you. That's what you call better contract management in the oil sector, Josh. Guyana listed on the world stage as a significant deep water oil producer as global oil production increases by 60% in the next decade. You hear that, brother? You hear we listed? Where we listed? On the world stage as a significant deep water oil producer. As global oil production increases by 60% in the next decade. Man. Significant deep water producer, bro. Producing oil like how water does flow in the river for the world. Wow. Wow. Is what significant coming in your pockets out of that, Joshua. Me not hear you, man. I want to hear you. This is what you call better contract oil management in Guyana. By the Honorable Bara Jagdeo and the Honorable Irfan Muhammad Ali. Mm-hmm. That was reported just a week ago. November 28th to be exact. Let's jump to December 1. You realize from 28th to 1?
Yes.
I skip couple, man. There's too much to talk about. First day of Christmas.
Oh, yes.
My true love sent me nothing. You know the song, first day of Christmas, true love sent that. Well, my true love sent me nothing. Yeah. Today is the 9th, and my true love still didn't send me anything, Joshua. As a matter of fact, none of you send me anything, uncle. None of you. Auntie, nothing. At least I am sending my love and wishes to all of you and your families on this 9th day of Christmas. How that song, Josh? I ain't get nothing, but I still sending something. Try to enjoy it as much as you can. Don't get high or too drunk. Not to keep your eyes and ears on the prize, on the pie Guyana has. We aisle, uncle. Keep it open. Yes, keep your eyes on them. Yes, 1st December. Oil companies tell investors to brace for more announcement on Guyana's oil resources. You hear anything from our government, Joshua? Absolutely nothing. The people telling their investors, enough, I'll more. They have to announce that they find out there. And instead, Jagdeo set windfall tax now or get out. He's saying take more projects. Take them all. It belongs to y'all. You can have it all. Have a beautiful Christmas and left sour ginger beer for the Guyanese people. Yes, that is what you call better contract management. This is the people y'all go out there and stain on your fingers for. December 2nd, Kaieteur carry headline. French company awarded supply pipelines for the 5th oil project that Jagdeo didn't approve as yet. You hear that? December 2nd, French company was awarded to supply pipelines for the 5th project. What Guyana didn't approve as yet. Them done the 10 miles ahead, signing contracts behind we back, paying money that we have no say on to build and supply pipelines for the 5th project. Joshua, Burger King, you know Burger King?
Yes.
The boss man once said, expenses or bills is like your fingernail. It must be trimmed and curtailed all the time. You know what happens? It grows and it gets out of hand. You understand? It becomes dirty and stink. Yes. Oil companies giving out billion-dollar contracts. And Guyana have no say in curtailing or trimming the amount. Yes. Yes. The bills just would be coming. And Guyana will pay it just like that. That is what you call better contract management in the oil sector. December 3rd. International group urges Guyana to ensure they see the agreements and be part of these agreements between the oil companies and their subcontractors, because that is where the cock does pass in any business. And to now, we never hear a word from Jagdeo, whether he authorized or even see any of these contracts. But we are paying the bills with our oil every single minute of the day. And that is what you call better contract management. Yes. Thank you, Miss Mortley, for the tea. Tastes nice. Change the taste of on my tongue. December 4th. Government refuses to disclose the report what a Canadian consultant did on the $9 billion American Payara project. Jagdeo doesn't want us to see that review report. You know why, Joshua? You know why, Uncle and Auntie? Because a $9 billion US project can never be properly reviewed in 4 months' time. Not even with a team of the best oil experts on earth. And that is what you call better contract management. Yes. You know how much we get robbed there? Half of that 9 billion. More than Guyana budget. I love this country. The same December 4th, the gas to shore project at Wales will likely destroy Guyana's water supply. The country at risk of cancer, so said a geologist. And again, not a word from your government. That are you going? Yes. Going to vote for again. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, guys. That same December 4th newspaper of the Kaieteur News. It was a Sunday. 2 Sundays ago. Sweet Stabroek Block deal allow investors to recoup the billions they handing us for searching for the oil and development costs before they start pumping oil. Joshua, you know hear what I said, man. The Sweet Stabroek Block deal allow the investors them to get back their billions for searching for oil and the development costs before they start pumping oil, brother. When I hear those words from the oil company boss, man, I nearly drop dead. People boasting how they can pay back for their combine and tractor before they cut a bag of rice. How sweet the deal is. And telling you in your face that too. You gotta love this country, man. When foreign companies can walk in a country, pick up your wealth and walk away with it without paying the taxes that is required by the country's law, man, then nothing can be sweeter than that. Man, how can a man walk in your house, pick up your TV and walk out with it and you don't say nothing? Huh?
That's what the guy said.
How can a man walk in your house, pick up your motorcycle or start up your car and drive out with it and you not saying nothing?
You gotta be a moron.
Huh? That could ever happen, man?
It's happening all the time. It's not for me.
I don't think so. You want to fight. Even if he got a gun, you're going to want to shout for help, bruh, or run to the police after. Not true, brother? Josh?
Yes, sir.
Well, what the oil company is doing to Guyana is 1 trillion times worse than that bandit come in your house and drive out your car or your motorbike. And all of you, uncle and auntie, I keep talking this thing over and over. All of you quiet.
Sealed.
Every Guyanese listening to this program, including Jagdev, President Ali, Norton, and Ramjatan, is turning a blind eye to what Exxon and their partners doing to us in this country. Come on, man. Come on. December 5th. That was December 4th. December 5th, Uncle and Auntie. More boasting by the oil companies. Hess Corporation, ExxonMobil partner, says that their profits in Guyana is set to surpass that of their investment them have in Bacon, North Dakota. Yes, or Bacon, North Dakota. Guyana is now the heaven for the oil companies. December 5th. 4 days ago, them said that, Uncle. What? What you surpassing in this country? You surpassing your salary with 8% increase. And they're taxing that too. And that is what you call better contract management of your oil sector in Guyana. And on top of that, Bernard, thanks for coming. Jagdeo defends the 8% increase for public servants in the same day newspaper, Kaieteur News. How you like that? December 5th. Yes, the next day. Exxon CEO, the boss man, and all his executives got 10% increase on their hefty salary they are already receiving in US dollar. Soaring oil profits led to the workers of ExxonMobil in England hitting the streets for their share of the increase in salaries. Yes. What you doing here in Guyana? Living with 1,000 Guyana a day. Yes. And settling for 8% increase. Hoping that will give you all a good Christmas. Continue hope. It's good. It's good to hope. What you call that, Bernard? Better contract management / renegotiation in the PPP manifesto. Yes. Y'all will go back and stain on your finger for them again. December 7th. Exxon responds to Lall saying the billboard cost is not being recovered. And the information on the billboards is factual and can be verified. Nobody wants to hear that information is factual, Mr. Exxon. We want you, Exxon, to verify the information by showing us the facts, not just telling us it is factual. I had to laugh, Bernard, coming back from Wakanam, from a funeral I attended yesterday of a good friend, a long-time friend. God rest or bless her soul.
Yes.
And in passing the Demerara Harbor Bridge, I saw 3 signboards facing the incoming traffic. Yeah. The one with the Exxon misleading information. Bernard, is facing direct your eyes. You can't miss that one.
I know, I told you.
The misleading one that said the information, the misleading information. Yes. That one is staring you in your face. And the one with President Ali photograph with his message on it. You have to twist your head plus your eye to see him or his message. This is how prominent the people put the billboard with the misleading information for y'all to see.
Yep.
Cross the Demerara Harbour Bridge. And them they all over the country. Four in Borbis, Linden, all over, man. Look at them. Look how prominent they put it. This is what you call better contract management of y'all aisle money. Exxon is advertising it for you. December 8th, uncle, yesterday, while I was at the Federal, oil experts telling Guyana don't get giddy over cleaning, catering, and taxi contracts, or the little money we got in the isle account overseas. Real benefits can only be realized with strong institutions. The people telling Guyana, dear uncle, to put in laws that can really bring in big money from the oil into the country. Yes. Put in institutions. Put proper institutions in place to save us from the loopholes we have in the oil sector. Yes. And that is what you call better contract management of the oil sector. But would we hear anything from Bara Jagdeo or President Ali? Let's wait and see. And today, yes, December 9th, Exxon says that their pockets will gush with profits in 5 years as they plan multi-million-dollar investments and increase oil production in Guyana and other countries. You hear that? Man, their pockets will gush with profits. You hear that? Exxon pockets will be gushing with profits, brother, in 5 years. Well, you pockets will be gushing with, Bernard. Let me tell you what you can gush with. Let me close off with these two stories, Bernard. Private sector must temper expectations for greater local content demands.
Really?
Yes. Private sector must temper their expectations for greater local content demands. So said we headmaster, that turned minister in charge of the oil sector, Vikram Bharat. He said the country does not have the ability, the capacity, the know-how to keep up with the fast pace of the growing oil industry in Guyana. Yes. Yes, approving project after project. Yes. So we must temper the expectations. Don't expect too much, uncle. You like the one, right? You children, them can't get work from the 4 mango trees in your backyard because they may have the skill. They may learn how to pick the mangoes as yet. But you daddy running full speed ahead to approve more mango trees for the pickers. That's how the daddy helping the children with their mango trees. And that is what you call better contract management in the oil sector according to the manifesto, brother.
Yep.
Eh? You not slowing down, not doing anything to give the people of Guyana a chance to fit themselves in there, to make some money. Oh boy. Oh. Then you telling the people, you got the nerve to tell the people to temper your expectations. Man, Bernard, you gotta love these people. It's Christmas.
Yep.
It's Christmas. And half of the population living with $1,000. Which can't even give them ginger beer for Christmas. And you minister telling Guyanese to temper their expectations? Come on, guys. Come on. Then we carried a story in which 40 Guyanese, along with 5 organizations, tell President Ali to pause, stop, and take stock of the oil sector. I want the president to fix all the loopholes in which we are getting robbed, uncle. Fix the laws quickly so that it can support Guyana from extortion from the oil companies or by the oil companies. And at the same time, give us time. Yes, give the Guyanese people time to learn the business so we can make some money for ourselves. You know, since we carry that story, not a word or response from President Ali to what those 5 organizations and 40 Guyanese asking him to do. And this is what they call better contract management in the oil sector, in their manifesto. All those stories I talked about, dear uncle, we carried in the Kaieteur news for the last 5 weeks, and many more that I didn't talk about tonight. The government, especially Bara Jagdeo, who is heading the sector, has not responded to any one of them. It all fell on deaf ears. Like I said, today the vice president had a 3-hour press conference. And what came out of it? SAD, S-A-D, not Sadhguru, S-A-D, is not even a word to describe what he said. Monday I will discuss it. But you have to have hope. Hope and prayers are the only things that the Guyanese people is left with at present. And those of you who have access to the press conference, I urge all of you to go online and listen to it. Go on the PPP page, you can see it there. I want to share a story of a TikTok I watched earlier today that touched my heart with all of you. Please listen to it.
This little boy has come to the cemetery to visit his mother. He lost him when he was very small and he was stayed alone with his grandmother. Apparently he has a bit of trouble looking for her. He looks everywhere, but he can't find her. The only thing he wants is to find her and tell her how much he misses her. This little boy finally arrives where his mother is. With immense sadness he gives her a flower, then he kneels and tells her how much he misses her and that he misses her a lot. He also tells her to come back. The things have not been so pretty since that night he left. That grandmother is very sick, but he does not know what to do. Then he takes off his backpack and apparently he is bringing something else. He takes out some sheets of paper. Apparently it is his exam and he shows it to his mother. The little boy is showing him the school grades. Proud of his score, he explains how he developed it in his classroom. He keeps the sheets and takes out another present. These are drawings on cardboard that he himself painted for his mommy. He tells him every detail he did with the painting. Also he tells him that he made a very nice drawing because tomorrow will be his birthday. His grief is so big that he cannot contain his tears and begins to cry. He asks her to come back to buy him new clothes. With the little he earns he is buying medicine for his grandmother. He tries not to cry, but her little face fills with tears again. He continues showing his drawings, and tells him, when he grows up he will be a great painter. Minutes later, with his little eyes swollen and tired of crying, he drifts off to sleep. He tries to stay awake, But his sleep is so deep that he decides to lie down on the backpack to spend more time with his mother. The little boy does not lose hope at any moment his mother will return to celebrate his birthday together with his grandmother. Hours later and this poor little angel has fallen asleep in front of his mother. Apparently the little boy has decided to stay there until his mother returns. He is ready to sleep there, and accompany his mother until she returns. But look how this man notices of the child and he approaches him in silence. Without waiting for more, he decides to wake him up. He asks him what he is doing here. He fell asleep. The boy answers that his mom is there resting. He was showing her his grade school. He asks him if he doesn't have any more family. He tells her only the granny, she is sick. The man tells her that he also has a very special relative who is in heaven, and that he is sure that from there she is taking care of him. The man tells him that it is not right for him to walk alone, because it is very dangerous. The little boy asks if his mother is not really going to return with him. The man decides not to say a word. He tells him to put his things away because it's time to leave the cemetery. Wrapped in sadness, he only thinks about his mother and the times they enjoyed together. The man tells him that he is going to help his grandmother, as long as he keeps up his good grades.
Hope, Joshua. Hope. We all have to live with that word hope. Let's hope that Barajagdev and President Ali, along with the other politicians, do what is required, what is best for the country, so that all of us and our future generations can enjoy the best of life and not have to live the way that child is living. Going to visit his mom's grave, in which a grandmother can't afford to clothe him. And that he has to, with the little jobs he's doing here and there, buy medication for the grandmother and still go to school. That's a beautiful little story, Josh.
It is.
And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's program. Let me say namaste once again. God bless and have a great weekend.